Hello there, welcome back. Now, he's performed in front of thousands of fans, wowed West End audiences, and even won the Masked Singer as a toilet.
Toilet was great.
Seemed very apt, Joe.
Do you know what's great about it? Jonathan Ross guessed me as Peter Andre. He went as Peter Andre.
That's nice.
Was it because of your abs?
And I couldn't sing a note. It was an ad for the toilet. I can't sing a note, but I'm obsessed with toilets anyway. I love toilets, right?
Why are you obsessed with toilets?
I think it's amazing. We never talk about it enough, right? We don't talk about it enough. Look, it's incredible, isn't it?
Did you get to say then, I want to be a toilet?
No, they phoned me up. They went, listen, we didn't want to ask anybody else because I know they'd knock us back, but we think you might say yes to this. I said, what is it? It's a toilet. I went, are you kidding me? Yes, because I've done so much research on toilets.
When did your obsession with toilets begin, Joe?
Ever since I was a baby. I used to sing a song when I first started, when I was a kid. I remember, it's my party and I cry for one.
Yeah.
I used to walk about the house with the potty on my head, singing, it's my potty and I cry for one. And ever since then, I've become obsessed with it. Because, do you know, like the Romans, guess what you used for toilet paper, the Romans?
A sponge?
What? No sponge.
Let it stick.
The rich people might
Let it stick with the sponge
No,
on.
they used corn on the cob. Imagine that.
What?
Yeah, corn on the cob. And the Vikings, a lot of people don't know about
Doesn't
Vikings.
that chafe?
Well,
I
think
think so.
If you think the softness of the corn itself, no chafing at all. If you've got piles, it's going to help you. So if you're a Viking, the Vikings came over, right?
Yes.
Guess what they got? You know, it's a long journey from Norway over here when they're doing all their pillaging, right? And they've got to do a poo on the boat, haven't they?
Of course they do, yeah.
Well, they're obviously over the side of the boat, but then they've got to wipe their bottom, haven't they?
Yeah.
What did they do? They had a thing called the long rope, and it was just great, but obviously it does what it says on the tin. Great big piece of rope hanging over the side of the boat, and they'd do the poo, and then they'd wipe their bottom with that piece of rope, put it back in the water, and then that would cleanse it. And then next bloke, and then you know, Ragnarok could have a go, and they'd pass the rope down. Look at your face.
Pass the rope.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know if I like the idea of passing the
That
rope.
might chafe.
I can't.
That would
might
chafe. The
chafe.
nasty
Especially
burn.
get some
that
barnacles.
would
That's a
give you.
long journey.
yeah,
There'd be
you
some
don't want
barnacles on
any-
the
yeah,
road.
Oh, my
Well, I'm
goodness.
thrilled that we've had all these toilet chats straight from the top,
Straight
Joe.
away.
40 years of you doing entertainment and comedy.
Yeah.
And this is the
Crazy.
first time I've understood just how much you're into toilet humour.
No, and that's why the show is called 40 Years of Cack, because I am obsessed with toilets. I'd love to do a documentary, like on the toilet, and interview people
You
on
do
the
a
toilet.
documentary on the
my
toilet.
Lord.
I'd interview people while
There
they're on
must
the
be
toilet.
a podcast.
A podcast,
yes.
it'd be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a plopcast or something.
Yeah, plopcast, exactly.
We've done it, Joe. We've just finished it. Joe Pasquale's podcast.
Fantastic. Apparently, Henry VIII used to have a bloke called the Keeper of the Throne.
Yes.
And he used to sit on the toilet...
To warm it.
To keep it warm all the time. But he wasn't allowed to do a number 2 or a wee in it either, though.
So you just don't
That'd be
sit and warm
quite
it up.
hard, I think.
Well,
Don't you? Like, because isn't there a bit of... Wouldn't that be quite tricky?
this isn't the conversation I expected.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Longest tour in the world you're currently
Yes,
on?
it's very long, it's very long.
How
but
long have you been going for?
It's been going since last year, and it's going to the end of this year. So, but I love it. After that 2 years of a hiatus with the COVID malarkey,
Pandemic, yeah.
I couldn't... you know, I was at home, I was on my own, living at home. I was a bloke at home in his pants with nothing to do.
On the loo?
Well, a lot of the time on the loo I was, but I did contemplate a lot on the loo. And so... yeah, I thought, what am I going to do? And then when it came back, Lee Mead phoned me up out the blue. You know, Lee, the cinema. And he phoned me. I'm doing a gig at the London Palladium. He said, I really want to do it, but I need a comic. Could you come and do it? So I went, yeah, of course I will. First gig back after 2 years.
Amazing.
And I put the phone down and I went, oh, my God, I've got to go and do it again. What happens if I can't... Not that I couldn't remember what I used to do, but what if I couldn't remember who I used to be when you were out there, right? Because it isn't me really doing it. It's if that bloke don't turn up, the bloke that does that show, then I'd have to do it, if you know what I mean by that, because we've all got different parts of our personality, and that part of my personality wasn't being used for 2 years. And what if he's gone into hibernation? He didn't turn up, and all of a sudden, it's me, squeaky voice, me going, oh, God, I've got to do this now. And when it was really amazing. It was like I'd never been on stage before. But the second I got out there, it was like putting a coat on, and it was like, he's here, he's arrived, and it just happened again.
Just goes.
You remember?
every time.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I always say, because of obviously Paddy doing stand-up as well.
I have to say, he is one of the best. He's so not known for his stand-up. He's one of the best out there. And people should, when he does do gigs, people should go and see him.
Yeah, they're amazing. But I have to say, it's one of the scariest things you can do.
Do you get nervous watching Paddy do it?
I get so nervous, so frightened.
For him?
Yes, because you're literally, you go out there, and this is what you're currently doing right now. You go out with a microphone, and everybody's sat in the audience, and they've paid £40 a ticket, and they go, Right, make me laugh.
My tickets ain't that expensive, right? But Paddy's great with hecklers as well, though.
Yeah, he is. He's
I
very
had the
good
worst
at that.
heckle ever. It
Go
was
on,
in
what was
Wales.
yours?
Worst heckle I ever had. I can't say the word he used, right, so I'll clean it up a bit, right?
Right.
I was in Wales, and there was two blokes at the bar. It was in the club, and one of them was on crutches, and he actually threw his crutches, right, and he said something in Welsh and fell over, right? And I picked up the crutches. I got off with a throwing crutches at me, and his mate come round back to get the crutches. He went, "Can I have my mate's crutches back?" I said, "Yes." Yeah. So what did he say? And he said, "You don't want to know." I said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "I'd rather fall over than listen to this cack." He didn't say cack, right? And then he threw his crutches and fell over. And so that was a really bad heckle, that, isn't it?
Quite a moment, that, though.
That is.
Yeah.
It's quite a moment, Joe.
You can't really answer that other than
And
duck.
every show you do, you've got to face that sort of stuff because it's always going to be different.
It's always different because I do also. I was doing a Q&A this year. A lot of people do Q&A. It's become quite everybody's doing it, but I don't have it written down. I don't have people phoning it. It's literally put your hand up and you never know what's going. It's literally flying by the seat of your pants, and you have to make it entertaining and funny. And because I've been doing it that long now, there's stories about toilets coming out of every orifice. So I've got answers for everything. I love doing it. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever stop doing it.
It's incredible.
And we go to Scotland next week. I haven't done Scotland for 25 years.
Wow.
And so I'm really looking forward to getting back.
Whereabouts in Scotland are you going?
Starting up in Dumfries, then I go to Ayr, and then Dunfermline.
You're around there for the Fringe as well. Do you ever go
No,
up to the Fringe?
I've never always been working. I've never done up there. No, that scared the living heck out of me, that would.
So out of all of the things you do, whether that's stand-up, presenting, singing, being on top, what's your favourite?
I still have stand-up. I'd do it because it's like jumping out of a plane. I'm still scared about it. Still scares me. You ever done a parachute jump?
No.
You have, haven't you? You know that feeling before you go out, you go, oh my God. And then when you're out, right, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And you've got to land.
There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, you've got to land, like you say, yeah.
It's like getting an ice bath. You jump out there in front of the audience, and I never feel comfortable before I go out there. As soon as I'm out there, it's like, oh, I'm in the water now and I can swim, and it's great.
Amazing.
It's a really weird
We've
feeling.
got Yuri Geller on a little bit later on.
You know about the
Were you in the jungle with you?
No, I wasn't in the jungle with. It's a great story. So when I came, I did the jungle. It was 20 years ago. Can you believe that?
No way.
There you go, King of the Jungle.
Right? And when I came out, you know, everybody sees like Jesus in a tree stump, or they see whatever it is. Well, they found somebody had a piece of toast with my face on it. Came out the toaster, had my face on it, right? And it worked out. Somebody just scraped a bit of my face on it.
Funny that.
And then it went on sale on eBay.
Yeah.
And then I was working in Birmingham straight after the jungle, and then I can't remember if it was the Sun or the Daily Mirror or something, contacted me and said, "It's gone on sale and we're seeing how much it's going up for and we're keeping an eye on it. Once a person's bought it, can we get a picture with you and a little interview?" So I said, yeah. And it went for nearly 800 quid.
Wow.
Right? And they phoned and said, yeah, 800 quid, we've got the person here, can we come up and take a picture of it? I said, yeah. Guess who bought it? Guess who turns up at the theatre? Yuri Geller.
Yuri Geller, your face on a piece of toast
He's got a museum. He's got a museum at home.
I mean, it couldn't be any more random, could it?
He turned into like my baby reindeer. He just... it was amazing.
It's brilliant.
Well, maybe we should get you out of the building before he comes a little bit later.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's gone already. Is the time gone already?
That is it.
I'm so sorry. I spent a long time on toilets.
We all do, Joe. We all do.
Blooming great.
Especially at our age.
Yes.
And also a reminder that tickets for Joe's tour, The New Normal, 40 Years of CAC,
are available now.
It's lovely to see you, Joe. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you so much.